Channel ba? Walang nauwi ang Team Philippines na any medal, but I'm sure we are still proud of our team. Sinubok tayong sirain ng bagyong Helen, pero salamat sa Panginoon na umalis na agad ng bansa. Si Senator Tito Soto ay umiyak sa kanyang privileged speech sa Senado against RH Bill. At ang ating pambato sa Miss World ay lumaban kagabi. Hindi ko alam kung nanalo po siya. Ito po yung mga nangyayari sa atin sa ating physical world. The world where we live, the world where the world that we see, ating nahahawakan, nagagalawan, natatapakan, nakikita. But I'd like to propose this morning that the spiritual world is as real as the physical world. Kung gaano po katotoo ang physical world na nakikita natin, na nararamdaman natin, na natatapakan natin, nakikita natin, alam natin, ay ganoon din po katotoo ang spiritual world. For we are not fighting against people made of flesh and blood, but against the evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world, against those mighty powers of darkness who rule this world, and against wicked spirits in the heavenly realms. As much as the Holy Spirit is alive in this world, so is Satan, so is his dominion para sirain ang mga mananampalataya. Watch out for the attacks from the devil, your great enemy. He prowls like a roaring lion looking for some victim to devour. Kamusta po ang inyong experience with the spiritual world? Do you have an experience already with the spiritual world? Or spiritual warfare? When was the last time you were in the battlefield against Satan? I know of a house na lately ay may mga nagpaparamdam na spirits. Lumilipad na tuwalya, humihila ang paa, may mga nakikitang family member na wala naman sa bahay, naamoy yung amoy ng isang namatay na family member. Hindi naman sila normally daw na ginaganon. Pero why all of a sudden ay napaka-aggressive ng mga spirits na ito? A Christian family, a regular attendee of the church, and then they realize, ito yung mga panahon na the parents were actively involved in a ministry ng sabay for the first time. And then isa sa kanilang mga anak ay involved sa missions at sa Muslim work. Ayan, matake ang kaaway. Kayo po, when was the last time you were in a spiritual battle? Maybe your family is having a family bonding, everyone's happy, then suddenly may magsasalita to provoke another, mag-react, magagalit, mag-aaway sila na. Sira na ang family bonding, sira na ang quality time. Or you're preparing for a ministry, then suddenly the equipment is destroyed, okay naman the day before, or people with responsibilities, or even people you will be ministering to, hindi na makakapunta because of Satan's attack. I remember one time when I was still involved in Saturday Bible class, ating po outreach ministry for Salapan Kids. The night before our opening, ay merong drama sa bahay. I accused my brother and my sister of cheating me of washing the plates. Ako na lang lagi. Nag-aaral din ako. I'm a college student din. Tapos, inaawit ko sila, then my parents intervened, sumagot ako sa kanila, ayun na, may drama sa bahay, iyakan. Of all the nights na pwedeng mangyari yun, bakit the night before that big spiritual event? And then I also remember I think this is one evangelistic or Good Friday service, when Kuya Marlon was supposed to give his personal testimony, I think for the first time. At hindi makasimula yung program kasi wala pa siya. And then, si Kuya Dennis, tinawagan siya, kaya pala siya ayaw niyang pumunta pa is, he was feeling unworthy of himself to stand up in pulpit and share his testimony. Pero nanaig ang banal na spirito, encouragement of Kuya Den, pumunta siya dito and he gave his testimony powerfully and emotionally. The spiritual world is as real as the physical world. At ang ating kaaway na demonyo ay ang kanyang aim, ang kanyang goal is to destroy the Christians, to move us away from God, to deceive us, lokohin tayo away from God, to give up the faith kapag sobra na ang problema, to follow what we want, dahil yun na nararamdaman natin tama o gusto natin gawin. Pero we will not stand hopeless or defenseless because we will fight it. Often in physical battle, it is the ability of an army to turn into victory that wins the war. And this morning, pag-aaralan natin siya. We will talk about Satan and his tactics. We know, sabi nga sa quotation, sabi nga sa libro, we can win the war, hindi lang basta preparing the strength of your army, but preparing to defeat para paralyze o pinayin ang kaaway. When Felipe Gozon, the CEO of GMA7, spoke in PUP, sabi niya noong mga panahon na talo daw sila sa ratings, pinag-aralan nila ang ABS-CBN. Ano ba ang strength ng ABS-CBN? Bakit sila namayagpag for so many years? At transform nga niya ang GMA, na nagkaroon ng kapuso na name, at sabi sa ratings ay nananalo na sila. At ang huling napabagsak daw ay yung pinakamalakas na time slot ng ABS-CBN sa gabi. But nevertheless, pinag-aralan niya yung kalaban niya, and he won. They won. And let's now see the external tactics of Satan. As the church was starting in the book of Acts, ay nagsimula din umatake na si Satan against the early church, against the Christians. At meron siyang mga external tactics, yung mga obvious na strategies ni Satan to destroy Christianity, to destroy the Christians. And number one dyan ang government. Old Testament pa lang, we see people of the Bible experiencing persecution by the government. Si Daniel, when he was forbidden to pray with a punishment. And then yung kanyang mga kaibigan, si Shadrach, si Meshach, and Abednego, who was almost killed when they were thrown in the blazing furnace by King Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon at that time. John the Baptist was beheaded by Herod Antipas. And that story is in Matthew 14. Jesus himself faced the Roman authorities bago siya i-crucify sa krus. Apostles James and Peter, si James were killed by the sword, sabi sa book of Acts, by King Herod Agrippa, and Peter was arrested by King Herod Agrippa. And today, believers still literally experience persecution, destruction by the government. Like this man, si Tong Chan from Laos, I had the opportunity to meet him when I had the privilege to be there in this country. He was in prison for 15 years just because of carrying a Christian material called the New Kingdom. Without due process, siya ay kinulong. Wala hindi man lang dirinig sa korte yung kanyang kaso. Pinagkamalan siyang rebel. Because the title of the book was The New Kingdom. So akala he was a rebel group against the communist government of Laos. Pero behind bars, inikwento niya sa amin yung kanyang testimony was shining as the sun. In fact, to the point that tinatawag siya Tong Chan Jesus, dahil sa Christianity that he displayed behind bars. In his 15 years of stay in prison, he was able to win 16 of his inmates and even able to share the gospel sa mga police officers. At yung kanyang asawa ay hindi pa pinayagang bisitahin siya for the first 5 months. At nung nakapwede siyang bisitahin, she had to pay a big amount of money just to see her husband for 10 minutes. Pero the gospel ay hindi na-stop behind bars. The gospel advanced through the life of Tong Chan and other believers in restricted areas.